An ancient story talks about how a man tried to solve a big problem by only taking small action. In this story, this young man saw a barrel that was seeping out water, and so he put his hand onto the crack to prevent the water from seeping out. However, as he did this, more and more cracks appeared on the barrel, and so in the end, the water poured out of the barrel, leaving the container empty. We can see that this man tried to take small action to contain a big problem, but in the end, it didn't work out so well. Similarly, in the current day, a big problem in our society is the ISIS terrorist organization, where ISIS has been threatening many of our allies and ourselves as well. Recently, according to Reuters from January 25th of 2016, the United States, the Iraqi army, and many rebel groups have worked together in order to take a key stronghold of ISIS territory, Mosul. However, this leads to the essential question of today, of what would the taking of ISIS do to the ISIS terrorist organization? And the answer is sadly not much, because of three main reasons. One, because of many commanders of the ISIS terrorist organizations already moving away from Mosul. Two, because of many other ISIS strongholds currently inside ISIS territory that are more important. And finally, three, because of the effective propaganda and recruiting techniques that the ISIS terrorist organization has produced. Moving on to my first area of analysis of how the ISIS terrorist organization has moved many of its key commanders out of Mosul. According to the Washington Post from July 23rd of 2016, the ISIS terrorist organization, fearing that the impending armies of rebel groups and the Iraqi army would recapture Mosul, many ISIS commanders have already left the city of Mosul, fearing that a breakthrough would occur. Furthermore, according to Reuters from January 25th of 2016, many of the key commanders of ISIS personnel have been relocated or been reposted into other key strongholds of ISIS territory. We can see that even if the Iraqi army, with the aid of many rebel organizations, were able to recapture Mosul, many of the key commanders would not be killed, and so the effectiveness of the ISIS leadership would continue to happen. We can see that because ISIS has already known that Mosul would be retaken, they have already reverted their own supplies to elsewhere and other strongholds of inside ISIS territory. Furthermore, the ISIS terrorist organization has also had many other strongholds that are key. Many ISIS strongholds that are key to their strategy in gaining more territory. According to the Washington Post from December 25th of 2015, the ISIS terrorist organization has increased its number of cities that they have captured in the recent months, including establishing strongholds in many cities inside Iraq, such as Baghdad, and other cities in Syria. Mosul, it has been seen to have ISIS has diverted most of its forces from Mosul to the cities elsewhere, and they have been increasing influence on the borders of their territory. We can see that Mosul is no longer a key point that that Iraqi and rebel forces need to take, because of the diversion of forces away from Mosul and into other key strongholds of the ISIS terrorist organization. Finally, we must see that the propaganda and recruitment techniques of the ISIS terrorist organization is way too powerful, and the defeat in Mosul for ISIS would not take much of a hit. For example, according to the New York Times from February 26 of 2016, even though ISIS has suffered many defeats in its military action and has lost parts of their territory that they tried to reclaim, they have been effective on social media and other sources of recruitment in gaining members, with ISIS increasing the number of terrorists by nearly 10% in the past 3 months. Furthermore, the propaganda inside of ISIS territory has led many to join the cause of the ISIS terrorist organization. And so we can see that with the powerful influence of ISIS in the region, that the recapture of Mosul would mean almost nothing for the deconstruction of the ISIS terrorist organization. So at the end of the day, we must come back to the essential question of today, of what would happen if ISIS were to lose Mosul. And this answer is sadly not much, because of 3 main reasons. 1, because of the many other key strongholds that ISIS possesses. 2, because of the large number of ISIS commanders moving away from Mosul. And finally, 3, because of the effective propaganda and recruiting techniques of the terrorist organization.